Hello everybody, it's Holden again. I'm back for the 7th R Help video. Today I'll be going over what you need to know for the 7th homework. Let's jump right into it with the pnorm function. To use the pnorm function, you use pnorm, the value, mean, and standard deviation. Let's go through a few examples so that you can understand this better. Let's say our mean is 5, standard deviation is 1. Let's first find the probability that the value is less than 6. To do this, we would use pnorm 6, 5, 1. So the probability that the value is less than 6 is 84.13%. Let's illustrate this with the curve so we can all understand better. Here is 5 because the mean is 5. Here is 6, one standard deviation away, as we know from the problem, and we want to find the probability less than 6. So pnorm calculates the area to the left when we're using the curve. When we're using the pnorm function, it calculates the area to the left of wherever the line is on the curve. So 84 or 0.84 is the probability of it being to the left, and it's also this area. The total area is 1. Remember that, as it will be important in a minute. We'll jump into the next question, which is probability that value is greater than 6. To do this, we would use pnorm 1 minus pnorm 6, 5, 1. The reason that we'll do 1 minus pnorm 6, 5, 1 is because, as I said previously, just using pnorm gets the area to the left. In this circumstance, we want the area to the right. The total area is 1, so 1 minus the area to the left has to give us the area to the right. You can also corroborate this in your mind by saying, oh, well, 0.84 is the probability of it being to the left, so therefore 0.158 must be the probability of it going to the right. However, the question isn't always going to ask for both, so in your mind it's important to keep the fact straight that it must be 1 minus probability of left that gets it right. Let's say we want to find probability that value is between 5 and 6. To do this, we would use pnorm 6, 5, 1. Again, 5 and 1 are just mean and standard deviations that I made up. They don't have significance. Besides that, you don't have to calculate them somehow with this example. 5, 5, 1. So the probability that the value is between 6 and 5 is 34%. Let's illustrate this. Here's the probability that it's less than 6. It's shown in black on the graph. Let's draw in red the probability that it's less than 5. Now that we've subtracted the probability that it's less than 5, in black we're only left with this probability, which corresponds to the 0.34 we calculated. That is the probability that it's between the two. As you may have noticed by now, pnorm returns probabilities. So anytime you need to calculate probabilities, use keynorm. Contrasting with this, qnorm returns qnorm returns values. Let's go over a few examples of this. Let's say we have the same mean and standard deviation. Mean is 5, standard deviation is 1. And we want the 75th percentile. We'd use qnorm 0.75, 5, 1. Therefore, the 75th percentile is 5.67, as we can see in the output. Now let's say we want the 25th percentile. We would use qnorm. I'll write the general format here. Percentile value, or percentile, mean, standard deviation. That's what we're going to be using here. It doesn't just have to be 0.75, 0.25, or anything solid like that. We could do 0.65 or anything, and we can get the percentile. IQR would be this calculation. If you understand what IQR is conceptually, it's no surprise that to get the IQR, you would subtract what is the 75th percentile by the 25th percentile. It follows the same logic as what you do with p-norm. You're finding the area betwixt the two values. It's the same in this, except you're finding the value between the two percentiles, and you're getting the value in return rather than a specific probability. The one last thing I would like to leave you with is using a QQ plot. The format that you use for it is QQ plot data, $, and then whatever the column you want to use for your QQ plot is. And if you would like to learn more about the QQ plot, type in question mark QQ plot. And as I've said in previous videos, question mark and then a function is how to learn more about the function, and it tells you different arguments you could use and what a QQ plot is. Thank you for watching, and I hope this video was helpful.